Good afternoon, participants. We'll start the session shortly. The art of drafting of memorial lies not in the quantity of words but in the quality of arguments. Greetings to the fellow learners of the legal field. I, Bhavya Sharma, on behalf of Canodian School of Law for Women, Jaipur, Rajasthan, is thrilled to invite you all on the
Recording in
sixth
progress.
KSLW third Moot Court Training Workshop. In today's session, we'll learn the art of drafting of memorial and formulation of compendium. Today, we have with us Mr. Rohit Ranjan sir. Sir, with his exceptional credentials, including BA LLB honors and an LLM degree, boasts a rich academic background which serves as the foundation for his legal expertise and is currently pursuing PhD in law. Sir is also a gold medalist in law of contracts. With 8 years of valuable experience, he has demonstrated to the field of law. Additionally, Sir is currently working as an assistant professor at the School of Law, UPES, Dehradun. Throughout his illustrious career, Sir has been mentoring students on various subjects like law of contract, jurisprudence, constitutional law, international criminal law, law of crimes, and many more. With academic proficiency, Sir has also worked on projects titled process documentation of disability certificate, and process documentation of Aadhaar enrollment projects. Sir's diverse and accomplished career exemplifies a deep seated passion for legal education and mentoring disciples. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Before commencing the session, there are some rules which are to be followed by all the participants. Firstly, attending all the sessions is mandatory. Keep your video and audio on mute. Thirdly, kindly join the sessions on time. Zoom link for each session will be provided with the student, with which the student can join their name. It is mandatory to fill out the feedback form, which will be shared at the end of each session. In case of any misconduct, the participant can be disqualified from the workshop. In case of queries, you can contact the organizing committee. Now, I would request Mr. Ranjan, sir, to commence the session. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Bhavya. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Thank you for that great introduction. Although I still believe that I'm a learner of law and still learning how to teach and how to study law. On that note, I welcome everyone here in the session. I hope I would be able or do justice with your time and help you all in understanding that that how we should draft a moot court memorial. Now, as I have given the understanding that this is the fourth session and your fundamentals of moot and your argumentation etiquette and all other previous things which are a requirement in the moot court has been taken care of in earlier sessions. So I would stick to my part of the topic, and so I'll just give you the structure that how we are going to run this session. So as the topic is in two parts, at the first I'll deal with the drafting part, what should we take into consideration while drafting the memorial, and secondly, therein I go to the compendium part, that how to compile a compendium. Hope that's okay with the participants here. And let's it's a workshop. It's a workshop method. So I would request you guys to be active in participation. I hope that's why you all are here from all over the state and the country. So shall we begin? Okay. So if I have to give a academic definition to the term memorial, some may say that it's a submission which you prepare. Now that submission, that written submission outlines your arguments. Okay. Generally, when you prepare your arguments, and that's the beauty of lawyering, you prepare the arguments from both the sides, applicant and the respondent. Now that argument, the written submission which you're preparing, while preparing that written submission, you not only formulate the legal reasoning, you also substantiate it with the relevant case law, supporting statutes, and so on, so forth. Now, if I have to break down that what are the things which you have to do while drafting a memorial? So can anyone here from the participants tell me that what are the things you have to take care while drafting a memorial? One by one. Yes? Anyone, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, you speak. Yeah.
Memorial should be in a proper sequence
Okay.
and structured in a professional and a legal manner.
Okay. Anyone else?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's a a written statement of what you are probably going to argue otherwise.
Okay. Correct. So, in general parlance or in a layman understanding, that's correct. But as a law student who is participating in a moot court, okay, so I have to be very precise in what I have to write in that memorial, and also many competitions which are there, they have a certain word limit or page limit into which you have to write all of your arguments. So at this juncture, it becomes very important that how do we structure our memorial. And every competition will give you a framework that okay, what are the parameters which you have to incorporate while drafting your memorial. Isn't it? So if I have to say, if I have to characterize, first and foremost thing which a memorial has is a cover page. Argument comes at a later stage, correct? Argument is the soul, it's the crux. But the formatting part, the structure part, because why are we learning, or why whenever we look at the scoring for your memorial, you see that the argument advance part or use of legal authorities constitute around 40% of the uh, of the total 100% which is there. Remainder of 60% is on the formatting, is for the presentation, is for use of citation, is for your structure. Correct? So first we have to identify that in any competition, in any moot court competition where we are participating, what is the structure which they have asked for. But what I'm going to deal with today is the by observation that majority of the moot court competition, whether national, international, or within the university or college, you'll find that these are the structure which you'll find common to all. So if you see the first, it says cover page. After cover page, what next would come? Anyone? After cover page,
Index.
you are asked index or table of contents. Correct. After cover page, you have to write your table of contents. Then after table of contents, you have to write your table of abbreviation. I will deal in detail with each of the topics. Then fourth, you have to write your index of authorities. Fifth, you have to write your statement of jurisdiction. One of another thing where most of the students, in my experience, most of the students find problem in how to write statement of jurisdiction. So we will discuss that, how to identify and what to write and what not to write in statement of jurisdiction during this 1.5 hour session. Then statement of facts. Then your summary of arguments. After your summary of arguments, sorry, first you after your statement facts, you write your issues presented, then summary of arguments, and then arguments advance, followed by your prayer. Correct? This is the general, these are the 8 to 9 points, 9 structure which we follow while drafting any of the memorial for any competition in whatsoever competition we participate. So let us start with cover page. What's so important in cover page? Why are we discussing this? Whether or not we should invest our time in writing the cover page or not. Now, these are the lapses which most of the students, most of the participants in the competition, they think that that cover page, we can write anything in the cover page, it's basic information, and the organizers or the evaluators would accept it. But that's not the case, because the cover page of the memorial, it contains information like name of the moot court, name of the courtroom name of the court where you're filing this petition, the parties involved, and whether the memorial is for the petitioner or respondent. So the cover page of a moot court memorial is the first impression of your document, and it contains these essential details like the case, parties, and the competition. Therefore, while writing the cover page, while constructing or structuring your cover page for the memorial, you should adhere to the T the competition guidelines, the format which is provided to you, and the required elements which are given to you by the organizing committee of the competition. Now, mind you, one is the general structure of the cover page, and second depends upon the rules of the competition in which you are participating, whether or not that particular competition is providing specific guidelines, specific information to be incorporated at the cover page. Correct? Now, generally, we are of the opinion, or we have observed or experienced that when you are submitting your memorial, you are asked to submit the applicant or petitioner or plaintiff side, which is color coded as blue, and the respondent side or the defendant side with the color code red. Okay. So generally we see that we prepare memorials from two sides. However, there are certain international competitions where you may be asked to prepare memorial from three sides. If you are participating, so now we see recently the notification for NLU Delhi International Criminal Court Moot is live. If you participate in that competition, you will need to prepare memorial from three sides. One from the petitioner, the second from the respondent, and third from the side of victim. Now, why? Because international court rules mandate so, and there are certain other provisions which we have to look into to understand that why three memorials are required there. Because that is how actual proceedings also happen there. Having said that, that's why I said that the color blue or color red should be assigned if the competition rules are mandating it. If the competition rules are silent on it, then we go by general blue and red. But if the competition rules are mandating some other color code, then we should not presume that okay, for petitioner it will always be blue, and for respondent it should always be red. Okay, so we have to look at the rules of the competition. Okay, we're moving. Am I clear till here? Any confusion? Some response, guys?
No, sir.
No confusion? Okay. So, what should we have include in the cover page? So you see, as I have mentioned, that cover page includes basic information. So that basic information would be the name of the court / name of the tribunal or name of the forum wherever you are applying for. So if you're applying, say, in the Supreme Court, so you will write in the Honorable Supreme Court of whichever nation, say India or USA or whatever fictional state is given in the moot problem. Okay? Second, if you are applying before the International Forum, International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court, so you'll write before the International Criminal Court, okay, or International Court of Justice. After the name of court or the tribunal or the forum, the second important information which you have to incorporate in the cover page is the case title. Now, case title includes the name of the party versus the name of the opposing party. So, name of the parties. So, party which you are representing and against whom you are filing that petition. And at the juncture we are saying A versus B. So, write A and whether A is the petitioner or appellant, and B whether B is the petitioner or appellant. Okay. And after writing the case title, obviously there's a requirement as per certain competitions where you have to mention your team code. So make sure that whatever is the format of that particular competition, based on that format, you mention your team code wherever mandated. Say some competition would say on the on the top right corner of the page, you should write your team code. Some competition would say on the bottom center of the page, you have to write your team code. So you have to adhere to those rules very carefully, because if you do not adhere to those rules, it attracts negative marking while evaluation of these memorials. Okay. So if I have a sample from the International Media Law Moot Price International Media Law Moot Court competition, from which is organized by Oxford. So I'll, as per their rules, I'll just want to share. Can I share my screen? I Let me just, yeah, I think this would do. Can everyone here see?
Yes, sir.
So if you look at this, if you look at this cover page, now this is the memorial which won the best memorial award in the Price International Media Law Moot Court competition 2023-2024. So this is the last year's competition best memorial. Okay, so if you see how precise, how clear, how professional they have structured, professionally they have structured their cover page. At the top right corner, they have mentioned their team code. In between, with equal spacing, they have mentioned the name of the competition. Okay. Then name of the parties, appellants or applicants versus respondents. And there they have mentioned memorial for applicants. Now you might ask that, okay, why the name of the court is not there? Because there the competition mandates that you just write the name of the competition. Okay. So going by it, you see that the designation, from which side you're preparing the memorial is also mentioned. The team code is mentioned. And lastly, while preparing, follow the formatting and presentation guideline to the T. The color page, the font, the alignment, the spacing. The spacing should be consistent between each element. Ensure that the page is not overcrowded. See the memorial which we just witnessed here, clear spacing between each element was there. It was not looking shabby, it was looking professional. The page was not overcrowded. Okay. Now you might think that these informations are trivial, but no, while your memorial is evaluated, these informations, these things are looked into. And in a competition where your memorial marks is used, sometimes for tiebreaker, sometimes for awarding you the best memorial award, these factors are taken into consideration. Okay, might seem trivial, but no, it's not. So how do we do it? We How do we ensure? So after writing it, we ensure that we proofread it. We check for the errors on the cover page, because if there are errors on the cover page, it will create a negative first impression. So the evaluator of the memorial will think that this person is not even serious in drafting its cover page professionally. What more argument the person would have included? So this will give a negative first impression, which may affect your marks. So you ensure accuracy and double check all details. You maintain anonymity, because if that is required by the competition, you should avoid including any identifying information like your name of the institution, like your name, like name of the place where you belong to. Don't write all this. If the competition rules mandate that you have to maintain anonymity and a team code has been assigned to it, then just write your team code and that's all. Next, you have to maintain consistency. Now, consistency meaning use the same font style, use the same formatting across the cover page, use the same spacing, equal spacing among the elements. Okay, so a well-designed cover page, it will give an impression that you are professional, you have an attention to detail, and it will set a positive tone for the rest of the memorial. So that's how important a cover page is. Okay, and if we are clear on this part of, we can move to the next, where we can discuss how to prepare table of content in your memorial. Shall we proceed, or are there any questions on this part? Mainly it was instructive in nature, so if there will be any doubts, you have to follow it. There's no other option. You have to follow these rules. Okay, so if no questions on it, can I proceed to table of content part? Okay, presumption of silence, so I will take it as yes. So now, how important is table of content? Going into it, I would ask you, how do you write your table of content? Anyone can explain? Anyone from the, even from the host college students, if they're there, can explain that how do you write your table of content while writing memorial? Just guide me through the process, please. Anyone? See, we have, and 126 participants are here. I expect most of you have participated in Moot course, and you must have prepared your memorials. So, how do you prepare table of content for your memorial? Simple step-by-step guide. No, those are the content.
Sir,
Yes.
it's abbreviation first, case details, case flows, then the jurisdiction part, then the issue.
Okay. I think I should rephrase. In the table of content, how do you write your table of content specifically? Do you go and write number one? So let me open a Word file here, and let me share my screen. So I'll be very. Can you see a
Yes,
blank?
sir.
Can you see a blank document here? Everyone? Can you
Yes,
confirm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So say, do you do like this, that I go write table of contents, then I go and I write say issues, then I say summary of arguments. Do we do it like this, like issues and then dot
Sir,
dot?
we also include page number also.
Say 2. Okay, say 4, and then summary of arguments dot dot dot. Say let's say 6. Do you use this method?
Sir, I think
We use table also.
format.
Sorry?
We have to use the table format. And
Say table format, meaning you are saying I will go to the insert
yes, sir,
and
have
I'll
to
say
insert.
insert
sir,
a
I think-
table.
Yeah, sir, I think.
That is what you are suggesting. Correct?
Yes.
But what is but you are saying that you are writing it, you are entering the contents manually in these tables. Correct?
Yes, sir.
But what
Sir,
if I say
alternatively, we can use reference.
no? So how do you use reference? Tell me.
Sir, we can use a heading in each of the topics. That heading automatically get reflected in using reference when we.
Okay. you're you are somewhat there with what I'm trying to uh, uh, say to the whole group. So yes, what Vaibhav is saying here is 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 will reduce your effort while inserting table of contents. So how do we do it? See, you don't try and write it manually. Okay. Say I have, this is my issue. This is my issues page. Okay. I select this issues. I go to home. Okay. I select these styles and select heading 1. Okay. Then say argument advanced. Okay. Again, I select this. I go to styles. I select heading. Now, while you write your arguments advanced, in your arguments advanced, there must be certain sub arguments also which you would like to be presented in the table of content. Say, let's say for example, whether you write whether a particular act is in violation of Article 14 to the Constitution. Okay, if this is the issue which you have framed. Now under this you're saying, okay, what is the test for reasonableness, what is the test for arbitrariness, what is the test for affirmative action. If these are the tests, say you have to include. I'm just saying, because in your arguments advance you have to use it. So while writing it there, while writing in the page which you are in the structure, while writing your argument, say you have written in the subheading, you have written test of, say, affirmative action. Okay. There, just select it. Your main heading was heading 1. You just, for this, you select heading 2. Okay. This is the method which I am demonstrating now is for writing in the main body, where you're writing your main. Say you write, then you write your whatever you want to write here, and then you move to say test of, say, reasonableness. You write. Okay, and then again you go to styles and you select heading 2. Now you when we started this topic, we said that we have to write issues and then dot 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 and then the page number. We don't have to do it anymore if we go by this method. I'll show you how. So if you have defined headings, you just go to references. Here you can see table of content. Can everyone see table of contents tab here? You select the style, whichever style you want to. If you want to customize, you can customize also, but let's not go there now. And you just select, say, first. Can you see it has been inserted automatically? I didn't have to write issues and then dot 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 1, then arguments advanced dot 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 1, test of affirmative action dot 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 the page number. That method we didn't have to go through that method. Now why using this method is advisable? Okay, is everyone clear on this part first? Then I'll move to the rationale of it. Whether you were able to get a grasp of the demonstration, why this method is advisable, I'll go to it. Yes? Okay. So now table of contents in any memorial, it organizes all sections. Okay. Now with the help of this organization, You help the judges and readers quickly to navigate through the document, and you would want the judges to navigate quickly through the document because you have to make your documents accessible for the judges. So a well-structured table of content will enhance the readability. Okay, and not only the readability, but it will also enhance the clarity and organization of your memorial. Okay, so we know that what we have to uh, write. Everyone writes the same table of content. So table of content base in principle basically is not a rocket science per se. However, let me show you this uh, Price Waterhouse Memorial, and let's see that how this particular team has drafted this table of content. So if you see table of content, list of abbreviation, everything same. But when they have come to the arguments part, see the structure. There are sub arguments and sub arguments to sub arguments. So if I only read this table of content, I am able to envisage that okay, what are their major arguments? Can everyone see it? Okay. So you see how detailed it is. So each argument which they are making, each framework which they are making, they are incorporating it while writing their memorial. See, for all the issues, they are clearly mentioning that what is their claim, what is the first part of their argument. So this is how a detailed table of content will help you. And an organized table of content will help you in securing good marks in your memorial rounds. You have to be sure that you are using the formatting tools which are available with MS Word. It should be right. It should be aligned as per the rules of the competition. It should be indented as per the rules of the competition. You are following the correct font and size. You are following the correct line spacing. Okay, and then you are organizing your argument section. You are organizing your argument section. Okay, say the law. What would be the example of organizing your arguments advanced structure? So suppose your first issue is that the law violates Article 19 of the Constitution. In that, you write A, the restriction on free speech is unconstitutional. That would be your first argument. So that is covered in that. Okay, I'll try and show it to you on a Word document here. Say if this is the argument advanced, this is what I'm trying to say. So here the content says test of affirmative action, test of reasonableness. So this is how you structure your arguments. That okay, issue 1 is law violates Article 19 of the Constitution. Now this will be deliberated by making two-pronged argument. The first prong would deal with the restriction on free speech is unconstitutional, and second prong would deal with law fails the test of reasonableness under Article 19(2). You are saying that in your argument advanced, but also incorporate it in your table of contents. On it, is this part clear? Okay. Now, The next part of drafting, and very important part where most of the students see, I'm focusing on the parts which most of us tend to ignore. Okay, that's why it might seem that, okay, why are we emphasizing on these trivial issues? But these trivial issues are important while drafting a memorial because it creates an impression first. Because the first thing which any evaluator will see is your cover page, then your table of content, and then it will go to the substantive part of your action. If your cover page is not serious, if your table of content is not serious, it gives a very sharpy message, it gives a very negative impression of the document, and therefore your entire marks goes down. Okay? Understand the fact that when a competition memorial is evaluated, there are 100 of competitors, 100 of participants, 50 memorials, 100 memorials are there. But so if an evaluator is evaluating, say, even 10, 20 memorials, you have to give him the gist, the brief. It's like art of writing an exam answer where you structure your answer in such a manner that the examiner gets it, exactly what you're trying to say. Okay. So after table of content, we include in table of abbreviation, which is there. Now, what are these abbreviations? Are these universal abbreviations? What is an abbreviation, guys?
So the abbreviation we are using for some terms like Supreme Court, SC.
Okay. So as Preet, you have mentioned, the abbreviations which you are using in your memorial. This table of abbreviation would include only those terms which you have used in your memorial. This is not a universal list of abbreviation. So if you have written Supreme Court as SC in a memorial, then here you will mention Supreme Court SC and then page numbers if possible. Okay, but ideally we use it multiple times, so we tend to avoid writing page numbers as there will be multiple page numbers to it. But however, the table should include what all abbreviations you have used. Say suppose for Constitution of India you have used COI. Now this is the abbreviation which you have defined for the purpose of this document. So when COI without putting it in the table of abbreviation, the evaluator would not understand that what is COI. It can mean anything. It can mean Constitution of India. It can mean any other ordinance, any other law which is there. So when you're writing, say, Constitution of India hereinafter referred as COI, you are defining it document, then you use that in the list of abbreviation and mention COI is mentioned as Constitution of India. Okay. Secondly, when you mention uh, say ICA, so you have mentioned for Indian Contract Act, you have mentioned ICA. For sections, you have mentioned S, then you write that. For paragraphs, if you have used that symbol of paragraph in MS Word, then you use that. So this is how you prepare a list of abbreviations or table of abbreviation. I'll try and share my screen again and show you the list of abbreviations. Now you see, can you notice anything in the list of abbreviation? Any structure which is there?
Alphabetical structure?
Yeah, it is in alphabetical order. See, not only for the first, but all the letters which are there. Okay, so it's always advisable that first use all the list of abbreviations, which use all the abbreviation, put all the abbreviations which you have used here, and then you put them in an alphabetical order. You can see that the entire list is in alphabetical order. Anything which you have defined, say the alleged attack. So anything which you have abbreviated will come in that. Okay, not necessarily the name of the act, name of the statute, name of the treaty, name of the convention. Anything which you have abbreviated. See, here you can see that they have abbreviated that the detonation of a Cuban weapons manufacturing facility on morning of 18/2023. Now, this particular statement they have abbreviated as the alleged act, and rest of the memorial they have used it as the alleged act. So they have mentioned here that whenever they're using alleged act, they are meaning this particular statement. Okay, when they are using the term the post, they are meaning this particular information. Okay, so this is how you have to prepare or write your list of or table of abbreviation. Now I can see a question here by Akansha stating that annexure page number also have to be mentioned if you are writing if you're attaching annexures to your memorial. Yes, you have to mention in your table of content that what are the annexures which are attached to the memorial. Annexure 1 at where, what is the page number of annexure 1, annexure 2, annexure 3, whatever annexures, or say you just have a compendium attached to it. We'll come to that. Compendium is something different, not part of the memorial, but you have annexures attached to the memorial. Now there can be two annexures, which one is a part of which is part of the compendium, and another which you are attaching with the memorial. So if it is attached with the memorial, yes, you have to provide the page number for it. But that depends upon the rule of the competition, whether the competition is allowing you to attach annexures with the part of the memorial or not, or they want you to file the annexures separately. Okay, so that depends on the structure. Formatting would depend upon case-to-case basis, but generally this is the structure for rest of the document. Okay, now moving ahead, after table of abbreviation we have index of authorities. Don't we write it? Do we write index of authorities? How do we write it? We write the name of the case and we write the citation. Correct? Should we do it in the same manner, or should we refine it further? Now when you're using term index of authorities, correct? So the index of authorities basically means that you have, or you need to mention the page numbers and paragraphs also where you have used those authorities. Number one. Number two, like table of abbreviation or list of abbreviation, the index of authority also needs to be in alphabetical order. But now how in alphabetical order? It should first you have to categorize. You have to categorize the index of authorities forum 1. Okay? So in index of authorities, you have list of cases, you have list of statutes, you have articles, you have other authorities cited in the memorial, and you usually organize it in an alphabetical order. Now, but it is advisable first to categorize it. For example, say if you are citing list of cases, now list of cases, then you categorize it, which cases are Supreme Court cases, which cases are High Court cases, which cases are from international forums, which cases are from tribunals. Okay, then in each category it should be alphabetical. In each category it should be alphabetical. Okay, same with statutes, same with articles. So why it should be done? Because you organize and list all the sources which you have referred in the memorial. So index of authorities gives the evaluator an impression that okay, these are the list of sources they have referred. But if you only write the name of the source, and if you don't write the page number in which it has been cited, then as an evaluator I don't know whether you have cited it or not. Okay, number one. Secondly, in your index of authorities, it should be structured into different categories based on case laws, statutes and legislation, books and articles, and then international convention and treaties, reports, law reviews, other legal materials, etc. And each category should be alphabetically arranged. And within each category, the authorities should be listed by the name of the case or title of the statute, followed by the citation. Now, citation, you will follow whatever citation is mentioned in the, be it Oscola, be it Blue Book, be it ILI, whatever. Okay? To substantiate it, let me again take the example of the last year's memorandum. And as you can see, if you see the list of sources, authorities. So what they are doing, declarations, treaties, and conventions. Now, if you see D, okay. Now here in declarations, treaties, and conventions, you see they have mentioned African Charter on Human Rights. Then in which page number they have cited. Then American Convention on Human Rights, which page number they have cited. They have also inserted that when it was adopted, when it came into force. Then the Charter of Fundamental Rights of European Union, in which page number of this particular memorial they have cited. So these numbers represent that these are the page numbers in which the particular authority has been cited. Okay. Similarly, then forum-wise cases from UNHRC. Okay. Then cases from ECTHR, meaning European Court of Human Rights. That is how they have. So they have categorized the cases. First, they have categorized. Main categories are there, wherein case law, statutes and legislation, books, all of it is there, and then the forums, and from various forums through which they have cited those case laws is there. Cases from European Court of Human Rights, cases from African Court of Human Rights, cases from European Commission of Human Rights. You will find it all here, and you will see that the pages in which the concerned case has been cited. Getting the point? So this is the meticulous level of detail which you have to go into citing your or preparing your table of authorities, because that is important, because a judge will know that okay, at this page you have cited this authority, and in this page you have substantiated this argument with this particular authority. Okay, is it clear? Yes and no, guys? Okay, great. After index of authority, one of the most in my life of all these students which I have mentioned, which I have mentored, and mind I have mentored a lot of students for Moot course. Most of them have come up to me, and while when I was a student, when I was in Lurachi preparing for my Moot course in there, I also used to get confused that what I write in statement of jurisdiction. Do you get confused? while writing statement of jurisdiction? Always think that what actually to write in that? Do we have to copy the entire section? Do we have to just write the name of the section? Yeah. So this is one of the most asked questions. You have prepared everything, but while writing the statement of jurisdiction, there's always a confusion. So to some extent, what is the purpose of writing a statement of jurisdiction? Okay. So the purpose of writing statement of jurisdiction is to establish that the court has a legal basis to admit and hear your petition. Court has a legal basis to admit and hear your petition. Okay. So in a statement of jurisdiction, there is a specific reference, specific statute under which under that statute, this particular case, this particular court has the jurisdiction to in the matter. Petition in Supreme Court. Under which provision of law you will approach Supreme Court? If you have filed a writ petition, under which provision of law you will approach Supreme Court? Obviously under Article 32. But if the moot problem says that an SLP has been filed, then SLP is filed under Article 136. So you have to ensure while reading the moot proposition that what is the issue for which we are approaching the court. So till and unless we are crystal clear on the moot proposition and facts which are available to us in the moot proposition, we will be always confusion that the jurisdiction. Will always be confused. What is the jurisdiction? So always try to identify the court. To do everything at once. First, identify that what is the forum in which this particular case is going. Step by step, let's go. What is the forum in which this particular case is going? Say, for general understanding, let's take the Supreme Court, for example, that a case is being filed in Supreme Court. But in Supreme Court, there are multiple jurisdictions of Supreme Court. Okay. First, Supreme Court has original jurisdiction, Supreme Court has appellate jurisdiction, Supreme Court has special original jurisdiction, writ jurisdiction, Supreme Court has advisory jurisdiction, Supreme Court has original jurisdiction on the matters between states, Supreme Court has original jurisdiction in matters where there is a dispute between the center and the state. Correct? So there are multiple jurisdictions, and then Supreme Court can also take suo motu cognizance of an offense or suo motu cognizance of an issue. That is there with the Supreme Court. So if all these types of jurisdictions are there, so first step what we do in identification of statement of jurisdiction is that what is the forum in which this particular matter is going. After identifying the forum, we see that okay, what are the various jurisdictions of this particular forum, whether this forum has original jurisdiction, whether this forum has appellate jurisdiction, whether this forum has advisory jurisdiction. Okay? Now different courts have different jurisdiction in different contexts. So once we clarify that our petition, the moot proposition, is originally filed or is an appeal, it would be clear to us in identifying, okay, under which provision of law we have to go. Okay. So we have to first identify the nature of jurisdiction which is mentioned in the facts. Whether, and it mentioned that okay, an appeal has been filed, a club petition has been filed, an original petition has been filed. Okay, clear? So recognize that whether it's original, appellate, or advisory, because different courts have jurisdiction in different contexts. The same court may have different jurisdictions. So here, your research skill of reading the law will help you and understanding the procedural law which is there to help you that okay, under this particular case, these nature of these cases go to this particular forum under these particular provisions. Okay, how do we do it? So let me summarize for you. Identification of the forum, then the list of jurisdiction which the forum has, what is the information in the moot proposition which is being provided to you, and in this particular 3 points where that particular where that particular problem is being filed by the appellate, in which forum it is filed. So with this simple technique, you will be able to identify the type of jurisdiction. Now, once you identify the type of jurisdiction, you have to define the scope of jurisdiction as per the moot problem. So, you have to relate the facts of the moot problem to the jurisdictional basis. You cannot simply say if you have identified the Article 32 of the Constitution, say as per jurisdiction here. So you cannot simply copy and paste Article 32 and say that okay, this is my statement of jurisdiction. You cannot do that. Okay, then that's not a statement of jurisdiction which you are writing. You are just copy pasting the provision of law. So therefore, you have to define the scope of jurisdiction as per the moot problem. Say, let's say you write that in the light of the petitioner's challenge to the constitutionality of the XYZ Act, the Honorable Supreme Court has original jurisdiction according to Article 32 of the Constitution to hear the matters related to fundamental rights violation. So what you're doing? You are identifying the forum, you are the issue, and you are informing that whether this forum on this particular issue has the authority to hear the. Just don't write Article 32 and just don't copy paste Article 32 in your statement of jurisdiction. You relate the set of facts and limit the scope, define the scope of jurisdiction as per the moot problem. So, and the statement of jurisdiction should be brief and formal. Avoid including arguments or in-depth analysis while writing your statement of jurisdiction. Why? Because statement of jurisdiction part of the memo, it's only the authority of the court that whether the court will hear this issue or not. Okay. So first, let me give you an example. Say, presume that you are filing a case in.
Hello.
I think there's some technical glitch, so kindly wait for 5 more minutes.
I'm audible? Sorry, I think I got disconnected. What is the last thing which we were discussing? Can anyone hear? Yes. What is the last thing did you guys hear? Because then I think there was jurisdiction. Okay. So on the topic on the point of jurisdiction, what I was saying that uh, did you guys have the chance to listen to the sample statement of jurisdiction which I just recited? Okay, so I'll do it again. So if you see, in a jurisdiction, you have to ensure that you identify the forum. So you write the petition. Presume that you are filing a case to Supreme Court of India. So you write, petitioner humbly submits that this honorable Supreme Court has the jurisdiction to adjudicate upon the present matter pursuant to Article 32 of the Constitution. So what you're doing, you're identifying the forum, and also you're identifying the article under which this particular case has been filed. Apart from that, you also write that this particular article provides original jurisdiction in matters involving enforcement of fundamental rights. So you're also identifying the issue under which you filed. That okay, yes, the court has the power, has the authority for enforcement of fundamental rights. And next, you also include that the petitioner alleges that the impugned legislation infringes upon the freedom of right to speech and expression. So you're also including that yes, there's Article 19 which is being infringed. So in 5 to 6 lines, what you have done, you have incorporated everything. You have incorporated the name of the forum, you have incorporated the article or the law under which the provision of law under which the particular forum has the jurisdiction, you have incorporated the issue which this particular petition, this particular case is dealing with. Okay, so that is how you draft a statement of jurisdiction. You don't just copy paste the section number or article number there. You write it in a brief and formal manner. You explain it to the court that yes, this court has the jurisdiction. So you keep it precise, you use clear language, and you adhere to the competition rules which is there. Okay. And similarly, when you write, whether jurisdiction is clear, any questions on it? Any questions, guys? Have you understood that what exactly you have to write? Okay. Now, statement of facts. Now, statement of facts, you have to understand that what is the purpose for writing statement of facts. For writing statement of facts, the purpose is the objective presentation of the facts. Then the relevance of legal issues, okay, and logical flow. So whenever you are writing this statement of facts, you have to write it in a manner which is clear, which is concise, which only includes the essential facts, and it's not argumentative, it is neutral. And when you conclude your statement of fact, in your statement of fact, you basically write that what is the current scenario, current status of this case. That okay, after the decision of such and such forum, this present petition is now with the Supreme Court or with the International Court, whatever the forum in which you are presently arguing the case. So in statement of facts, avoid being argumentative, avoid repetition. You try to present precisely each fact. Okay, you don't try to cover everything. And basically, if you mention that okay, if you categorize it also, you say that background of the case, then you say the legal dispute, then you say the issues which are there, and then you write the current scenario. So if you categorize it in this manner, it will be beneficial for the court also, for the judges also, to understand that what exactly you are writing. Okay, so hmm, so I'll just sh- show you the statement of relevant fact as per that particular, as it is mentioned in the memorial which I have. Okay, so if you can see here in the statement of relevant fact or statement of fact, it's here. There are three countries involved, so they have first involved. They have first made a description about the first country, then about the second party, then about the third, which are involved in the in the moot proposition. And as you can see, a statement of fact is not copy pasting of whatever there is in moot proposition. You write it in your own language, and when you write it in your own language, you provide footnotes wherein it is you are giving that from where this particular statement is written, what is the source of writing this particular statement. Similarly here, that okay, compromise paragraph 2 to 4, if you read paragraph 2 to 4, you will find this information. Then in compromise, if you read paragraph 5, you will find this information. Okay, and then moving ahead, if you see, then they have, okay, what is the controversy, what happened, why the dispute arose, then what legal proceedings has already happened, they have written that. And moving ahead, how they have approached the Universal Court of Human Rights. Okay, and what is the, if you see, this is the present status of the case, which they have concluded their statement of facts with the present status of the case. So this is the structure which one tends to follow while writing the statement of facts. Now, once all of it is taken care of, all the structure is taken care of, we arrive at the issues and the arguments advanced of the issues. Okay, so generally we tend to see that the issues are already provided in most of the memorials. Sorry, in most of the moot propositions. However, if you have to say prepare a issue of your own, because there are certain moot court competitions which may ask you to prepare issues of your own. So it is advisable to use the terms if, whether, does, is, and start a legal question from there, and keep it specific and clear, and do not use the biased, do not use a biased language, or a language which shows that okay, you have already decided that this particular action is wrong. Say for example, if you write that whether the ministry's wrongful denial of access to information, if you write wrongful denial, so you are already presuming in the issue that the denial was wrongful. So rather writing whether the ministry's wrongful denial of information, you use whether the ministry's denial of information amounts to violation of, okay, so or is bad enough, that is what you have to write. So you avoid using the term unjustly, wrongfully, or whether the action is against the law. That we do not. We just write it in a manner saying that whether the denial of information by the ministry under such and such act infringes upon the petitioner right of freedom of information as guaranteed under Article 19 of the Constitution. So this, in this manner, in a constructive manner, we prepare the issue. We do not We do not write the terminology such as that whether this wrongful denial, whether this was unjust, whether this was uncalled for. We do not. We tend to avoid using this language and maintain neutrality in the issue. So pre-bias should not be indicated from the issues which we have prepared. Okay. This brings us to one of the important aspects in drafting of a memorial is the arguments advanced. Now, arguments advanced. One is the structure, which will come to it in a moment. But first and foremost thing, before even writing argument advanced, before even starting writing your argument, fundamental thing which you have to do, which you have to ensure that you are well versed with the moot proposition. You read the moot proposition time and again. After reading the moot proposition, prepare a list of questions. Forget about the simplicity of the question. Whatever question comes to your mind after reading the moot proposition, write that question into a piece of paper. It can go up to say 100 questions. It's okay. Once you have written those questions after reading the moot proposition, you start answering those questions. That whether the answer to that question is clearly mentioned in the moot proposition. So whether you can find the answer to that question in the moot proposition or not. If yes, tick. So the list of 100 questions which you might have prepared after reading the moot proposition would come down to 7-8 questions, wherein you will find that the clear answer to these questions are not there in compromise, is not there in the proposition. Now, your research to resolve the issue will fall or will revolve around these 7 questions which is there. Okay. Once you have identified the issue, once you have identified the unanswered questions, obviously you will start writing your argument advanced by organizing the issues. So each argument which you are writing, that argument should correspond to obviously one of the issues which is already mentioned in the moot proposition, and it should follow a clear flow. You should include heading, as I have mentioned in the table of content. You should mention clear headings and subheadings to identify the argument and sub-arguments which are there. While writing your argument, make sure that you state the legal principle, you apply this legal principle to the set of facts which is available, then you substantiate it with the use of authorities, and you briefly refute any counter argument which the opposing side may raise. Okay, so these 4 things always follow. I'll repeat it for you. These 4 things you always follow while writing your arguments advanced. What? State the legal principle. Begin each argument by stating the relevant legal rule. What is the principle? What is the test which is applicable? State the legal principle. After stating the legal principle, you explain that how this legal principle is applicable to the set of facts which is available to you. After stating this, you substantiate it with the legal precedents, statute, conventions, text, judgments, reports, whatever it is. So be ensure that you're substantiating the legal principle and the set application which you are making the principle which you're applying on the set of facts, you're substantiating with the use of authorities. Obviously, when you're using the authorities, you have to cite it. You have to cite the authorities which you're using to substantiate. And fourth, address the counter arguments which can be raised and refute these counter arguments which can be raised by the opposing side. Clear? So, if I have to say, while writing, this is the most important part. Obviously, your argument advanced. This is the general structure of writing arguments advanced. But your arguments advanced can only be written when your research is foolproof. So your research has to be foolproof. Your research has to be as extensive as possible, and your research has to cover all the questions which you are raising, and you have to factor in all the questions which the opposing counsel may raise. So while writing your arguments advanced, there has to be clarity, it should be concise, there should be logical coherence, flow, there should be a balance between the facts and law. One thing which I have observed, that most of the time uh, students or participants tend to oversight the case laws or overuse the case laws in the arguments advanced section. Don't do that. Use only those authorities, those case laws which are relevant in the argument which you are making. Just writing 100 cases would not make your argument strong. Okay? To draft a strong argument, as I have mentioned, you have to identify the legal principle, apply the set of facts on that legal principle, provide that supporting authority, and refute the counter argument. If you follow this 4-step process while drafting the argument advanced, your argument will always be strong. Always try to identify these 4 pointers while drafting your argument advanced. Okay? So, this is how you draft the argument advanced. Any questions on it? Any clarifications? Okay. So this brings us to the last part of, obviously, one of the things which you do from your argument advanced is the summary of arguments which you write before arguments advanced. So obviously summary, again, you should not just copy the first paragraph or second paragraph or conclusion of an argument and write the summary. No, don't do that. Write the argument, and summary of argument is basically what are the major points and principles which you are relying upon while framing your argument. So just write a brief of it. For every issue, 7-8 lines of the sum of the argument which you are going to make, which you are going to expand in the argument advance. Write that in the summary. Don't copy the first paragraph or the second paragraph or the conclusion part and say that it's the summary. Don't do that. Write it on your own. Okay? This brings us to the last part for the memorial drafting, is the prayer. Okay? Now, what is the purpose of a prayer? Now, the purpose of a prayer is to ask the relief which you are seeking. You are summarizing, you are stating your legal position, and you are summarizing that exactly, or you are stating to the court that this is the relief which I am seeking. So, while writing your prayer, you cannot be generic. You have to be specific. You request specific action from the court. Whether it's a judgment, it's an order, it's a legal remedy, it's a damage, whether it's quantitative damage, whether it's liquidated damages, whether it's unliquidated damages, whatever you are requesting from the court, whether it's an injunction which you are seeking, whatever relief which you are seeking, that has to be clear, concise, and specific to the point. Okay? So, you have to give a brief restatement of your position and clear request for relief or specific court action. So if while drafting prayers, two most important parts: one, you are summarizing your position, and second, you are making a clear request of the action which you are seeking. Okay? So the general statement which you are making, that wherefore in the light of foregoing arguments, the petitioner respectfully prays, that is the restatement which you are making, that okay, already what I have stated, please look into it and pass any relief or order or declaration which I am asking. So what are the relief you generally ask in your prayer? It can be declaratory, it can be damages, it can be injunctive, and it can be some other forms of relief. You can ask the court to declare. So if you're asking the court to declare, then you write that we are requesting the court to declare that this particular action is unconstitutional. If you're seeking injunction, then you write that we are asking the court to direct or stay or whatever type of injunctive relief which you are seeking. If you are seeking monetary compensation, then you have to ask that okay, we are requesting we are claiming or asking for monetary compensation for the damages which we have received. Okay? Or then there can be any other order, whether you are asking the court to overturn, or you can asking the court to reverse the decision of a lower court. That also have to be very specific. So the prayer part cannot be generic in nature. You have to be very specific in what you are seeking as per the facts and circumstances which has been provided to you. Okay? So if suppose if I have to read a prayer, you can say that wherefore in the light of foregoing submissions, arguments, the petitioner respectfully prays to this honorable court that this court may be pleased to declare whatever is your petition for declaration, direct whatever the direction which you want from the court, issue an order of injunction if you want an order of injunction, and award costs for the proceeding. If you're civil proceeding, always try to incorporate costs in your prayer. Okay? And then you go for an alternative relief in which you seek that pass any other order which this court may deem fit in the interest of justice. Okay? Am I clear on it? Okay? So now what is a compendium? So this closes the memorial drafting phase for us, and in few moments I'll also summarize compendium, and then we can open the floor for questioning. So if this is clear, I can go to the next part. Okay? So now in compendium, compendium is nothing but the authorities which you have cited, which you wish to rely upon while making your oral argument. You include that in compendium. So a compendium is a compilation of all legal relevant materials which you have referenced in the memorial. So say you have referenced 10 case laws in your memorial, and you want that this 10 case laws should be accessible to the judge for a quick reference. So you prepare this compendium wherein you yourself download these cases, take a print of it, then you cite the relevant provision, write a flag, write the page number of the argument which you have cited. Okay? And then you prepare this document and submit it to the judge. So whatever case laws or statutes which you have cited in the memorial, whatever articles or journals which you have cited in the memorial, whatever reports, whatever documents, whatever is there, you have cited in your memorial in the respective pages, and you wish that there should be a ready reckoner for the judge, that I can ask the judge to refer to while presenting my argument should be incorporated in a compendium. Now, in the compendium, you arrange the documents in the same order as they appear in the memorial for easy reference. So, if you have cited in page number 1 case A versus B, then in compendium the first case should be A versus B. If the second case is X versus Y, then the second case in the compendium should be X versus Y. So arrange the documents in the same order as they appear in the memorial for easy reference. And then use table of contents in the compendium to help the judge to quickly find the specific sections. Okay? So if you do all these steps, if you prioritize the important documents, the documents which you want to cite include only the most essential part of the cases, you highlight the key sections which are there, you ensure the quality and accuracy, you double check the document, you proofread it, you format it. If you do all these things, then the memorial and the compendium which you have prepared would be a memorial which is worthy of winning a competition. So with this is all I have to offer in today's session. If now the floor is open for questioning, I have say 2 minutes to take your questions. If you have any questions, clarification, we can take it up. Can we speak only one language in the courtroom? If you know Hindi, then only Hindi. What if we have trouble speaking English? Okay. So now, whether it is for moot court competition or actual courtroom. If it's for actual courtroom, so every state has rules for the language of the court, and whatever the official language of the court is there, you can speak in that in the languages which is recognized as the language of the court of that particular state. Supreme Court, it says English. But in trial courts or the lower courts, the local language plus English, both are acceptable. But in moot court competition, if the rules of the moot court competition are very clear, where it says that the language of the competition would be in English, then you will have to speak in English until and unless the organizers provide a relief to you or leave to you that okay, in any other language also you can speak. Hope I have answered your query.
Thank you, sir, for graciously sharing your experiences and insights with us. Now, I would request all the participants to switch their cameras on for capturing the moment. Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Ranjan Sharma, ma'am, member of the organizing committee and assistant professor, KSLW, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all of you. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose the vote of thanks of this session. Learning of memorial drafting and compendium formulation is a core and basic aspect of mooting that has been dealt with thoroughly in this session. Now, I, on behalf of Kaluria School of Law for Women, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Rohit Ranjan, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and enlightening the participants with your knowledge. Sir have guided extensively regarding memorial drafting and compendium formulation. That would be very helpful for all the participants. Thank you so much, sir. Now, my special thanks to Principal Ma'am for her constant guidance and support in shaping this session. I'm very much thankful to Dr. Disha Banurga, co-convener, Ms. Roshan Ali, organizing secretary, and all the faculty members for their help and motivation. I would also like to extend my thanks to Bhavya Sharma for moderating this session. I'm very much thankful to the non-teaching staff also who always stand by us. I would like to extend my deepest thanks to all the participants for joining this session and making it a successful one. Thank you all of you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, the next session will proceed only for the participants. So, if you want, then you can please leave the session.
Thank you all. You
Thank
can
you.
all connect. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay. Fine.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All the participants, please stay in the meeting only, as the next session will commence shortly after.
So when we are going to start this session? Because guest has left, I guess, so we can start it immediately. Organizers?
Yes, ma'am.
What we are waiting for? I think we have to start it now.
Yes, ma'am. Just 2 minutes. We are starting it.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this experience session of KSLW 3rd Moot Court Training Workshop. My name is Akanksha and I am privileged to guide this session. We are honored to have with us Dr. Vartika Rora ma'am, Principal, Kanodia School of Law for Women, and all the participants who have demonstrated remarkable dedication throughout this workshop. This experience is a wonderful opportunity to reflect on the journey throughout the workshop. Moot Court training is an incredible learning experience. Over the past 2 days, participants have learned about the art of mooting, strengthening their legal reasoning and advocacy skills. Now, let's take a look behind the scenes of this Moot Court training workshop. Now I invite Dr. Disha ma'am to present the final report.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Akansha. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Disha Bangarwa, going to present the final report of the third KSLW Moot Court Training Workshop 2024. Moot Court is a stimulate legal exercise in which law students argue fictional cases before a moot court. The importance and the benefit of the participating in moot court are numerous and extended to both the law students and the legal profession. In this order, Kanodia School of Law for Women have organized 2-day virtual moot court training workshop from 13th to 14th November 2024 to provide a platform for interaction with the experts of the field, latest information and new skills related to the moot court and mooting. The event marked its success with participating across the India. The workshop was joined by the students pursuing undergraduation, post-graduation and academicians in law. Around 260 students from the Law College, Penn India have registered themselves in the workshop. Like students of Aishwarya College of Education, Jodhpur, Alankar Law College, ASM College of Law for Women, Hyderabad, Rajasthan, Kare College of Law, Margao, Goa, HLM Law College, Uttar Pradesh, Jaipur National Law University, Jaipur, Rajasthan, Royal Academy of Law, Manipur, Punjab, Modi Law College, Kota, Punjab University Regional Center, Ludhiana, Punjab, and many other colleges and universities have participated in this workshop. This workshop was scheduled in 4 sessions in 2 days. Day 1, session 1 and session 2 was there. Session 1 was on the fundamentals of mooting. Resource person was Dr. Ramya Prakash ma'am. Session 2 was on the argumentation skill and courtroom etiquette. Resource person was Mr. Sashank Kumar sir. Second day, Session 3 and Session 4 was there. Session 3 was on the mooting and the research. Resource person was Ms. Lavish Minocha ma'am. And Session 4, drafting of memorials and formulation of compendium was there. The resource person was Rohit Ranjan sir. Day 1, the inaugural session was there. The inaugural session of the KSLW Moot Court Workshop 2024 was launched with great enthusiasm at Kanodia School of Law for Women. Ms. Dania Roshan, student of 8th semester, extended a warm welcome to all the students and officially marked the commencement of the 3rd KSLW Moot Court Workshop and highlighted its significance to all the students and the participants. Dr. Vartika Arora, Principal of KSLW, warmly welcome all the esteemed guests, including the Justice J.K. Raka sir, former Judge of Rajasthan High Court, Justice P.C. Jain sir, former Judge of Rajasthan High Court and Chairman of Management Committee of KSLW, and Dr. Rashmi Chaturvedi ma'am, Director of KSLW. Ma'am also discussed about the importance of mooting and how this workshop is going to help all the participants in their legal studies. Dr. Rashmi Chaturvedi ma'am, Director of KSLW, ma'am has emphasized on the importance of this workshop and how the mooting skills are important for the law students. And ma'am has also congratulated all the faculty members, organizing committee for their dedications towards this workshop. Justice P.C. Jain sir has congratulated to all the members and the participants. Sir has explained the participants that how such workshops are giving the practical platform to all the students in their law studies, and they will be prepared for the future lawyers. The chief guest of the session, Justice J.K. Raka sir, convey his profound appreciation for being a part of this KSLW Moot Court workshop, and he described the Moot Court as a stimulate where students not only gain experience but also learn to impart arguments effectively. And sir has also noted that in this by this Moot Court workshop, students will learn how they will have to fight in the Moot Court competitions like the national and international Moot Court competitions. The concept note was given by the co-convener Dr. Disha Bangarwa. Dr. Disha Bangarwa presented an overview of the workshop, the objectives, importance, and described all the foundation training, all the importance of all the sessions. To conclude the inaugural session, the vote of thanks was given by the Roshan Ali ma'am. She delivered vote of thanks to all the guests of the inaugural session, and ma'am has also thank you to all the participants and the resource person in of this workshop. After the inaugural session, the first session started, and the first session was on the fundamentals of mooting. Resource person was Ms. Ramya Prakash ma'am from Ramaiah College of Law, Ramaiah University, Bangalore. The moderator of the session was Ms. Niharika Singh, third semester student of KSLW. Ms. Ramaiah ma'am has emphasized the value of mooting as a rigorous exercise that equips law students with critical skills of for legal advocacy. She also explained about the different types of moot court competition and how this moot court competitions are going to help the law students in their future. The vote of thanks was given by the Purnima Gautam, Assistant Professor, KSLW. Second session was on the argumentation skills and the courtroom etiquette. The moderators of this session was Reni Tanvas, third semester student, KSLW. Resource person was Mr. Shashank Kumar sir. Mr. Kumar has covered the topic courtroom etiquette and emphasized that the moot court have higher expectations than the real court. The legal profession is practiced by the law students by such moot court competitions during their studies. And he has also pointed out that the moot court training workshop is going to help the students in their professions in their profession. The vote of thanks was given by the Pragya Sharma, Assistant Professor KSLW. Day 2, the session 3 and session 4 was there. Session 3 was on the mooting and the research. Resource person was Miss Lavish Minocha ma'am. The moderator of the session was Snigdha from 3rd semester KSLW. This session consists of valuable information of moot court competition. The resource person deeply discussed the importance and significance, relevance of the
Ma'am, please unmute. You are muted.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry for this technical issue. The vote of session for the third session was given by the Miss Ankita Singh, Assistant Professor KSLW. Session 4 was on the drafting of memorial and formulation of compendium. Resource person was Mr. Rohit Ranjan sir. The moderator of this session was Bhavya, 5th semester student KSLW. Sir has explained about the memorial drafting and the compendium formulation. How the memorials are drafted in the moot court competition and what is the importance and what is the role of the moot court memorial drafting in the moot court competition. Sir has discussed about it, and sir has also discussed about how the compendium is formulated, like how to search the landmark judgments and how to use those landmark judgments in the moot court competition. The vote of thanks was given by the Miss Kanjan Sharma, Assistant Professor KSLW. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to hear from the participants about what this journey has meant and how it has impacted them. This is your chance to share the experiences, lessons, and moments that have made this journey unique and meaningful. Now I call upon Jasprit from KSLW to share the experience. Do we have Jasprit in the meeting?
Yes, I'm here. A very warm afternoon to everyone. Myself, Jasprit Kaur, from a first semester student pursuing BLB from Kanoja School of Law for Women. I share my thankful, insightful for getting the opportunity to share my insights for what we have gained from this national workshop. The first session when Ms. Ramya Prakash ma'am shared call mooting as a heartbeat of a law student struck a chord with me. It made me feel nothing, just a true bridge between real courts and a moot court, and also the difference between theory and a real world advocacy. Her focus on research and her tip to start early when drafting a memorial made me feel very practical and encouraging and sparking my own excitement for mooting. Whereas during the second session, he emphasizes on clarity and respect as essential skills while in sharing insights on courtroom etiquette and argumentation. The session truly gave me a fresh perspective and boosted my confidence for my future mooting. And about today's session with ma'am, where she shared how mooting is very essential for the legal career and for emphasizing our legal skills. And also she shared her memorial and also getting our skills on memorial and how we frame issues in memorial. And when we discuss a real memorial, we came to know how it works and which was very efficient as a law student. And there comes the last session with sir when he discussed about memorial, the structure of a memorial, and how one should create a memorial, and how a fruitful research is very important for creating an advanced argumentation. Thank you. Thank you so much for getting this opportunity, and thank you so much for the National Moot Court competition, which truly will help us in our legal career. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaspreet. Now I call upon Dharamveer Yadav from HLM Law College.
This is request to all the person who are giving the feedback. Please switch on your camera. If he is not ready, we can take the next one.
Now I call upon Raghav Ramdev from Modi Law College to share the experience. Do we have Raghav in the meeting? Raghav is not in the meeting. I call upon Janvi Chaudhary, student of KSLW, to share the experience. I call upon Sonu Kumari from Aishwarya College of Institution to share the experience.
Excuse me, moderator. Anyone please put a message on the group. Those who were interested in the feedback session, please join the meeting again with the same link, so that this will be more impactful.
Hello.
Yes,
I'll do it.
yes
Hello.
someone is saying something. Yes, Indrajit Singh.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Indrajit Singh from Modi Law College, Kota. And first of all, yes, ma'am, I was told
Okay.
I have to share my experience.
Yes, please go on.
Ma'am, first of all, greetings and heartiest congratulations to the school for conducting such a good workshop in a very, very professional manner. And I would also like to thank to the eminent speakers whom you have invited with the vast sea of knowledge. And actually, I have gained every time whenever I have joined any of the class. In every class, I have learned a lot. So, to my fellow participants, gentlemen and ladies, it is not that whatever knowledge you have gained and it is the end of it. We must strive to achieve more excellence in whatever areas which we are pursuing. Actually, we have contributed some more to this workshop, but ma'am, fault on us that actually we should have also prepared ourselves for these topics. Some research was required from our side also, so that we could have contributed to this workshop. There are certain things, ma'am, which I have shared in my feedback forms also. Like some of the topics which were covered actually in a very, very detailed manner. But had it been some presentation or PDF format which would have been visible to us, we would have been more comprehensive to gain the knowledge. Some case studies have also been discussed, ma'am, during these workshops, and the links and references like what Mrs. Lovish. So these links, since these links were not available or the AI platforms were not available. So now these things are available. The young generation can these authorities with us, and it will to serve humanity much more professional. There are only 3 points. We could have catered for the Hindi audience also, because I have per se in Rajasthan people are more into Hindi. I am not saying I have faced any problem into that, but definitely we can increase our audience by Hindi for Hindi audience. And second is, ma'am, this WhatsApp group, whatever we have created, we should continue with this WhatsApp group, and we can keep on sharing the new advancements, new rulings which have been, new authorities which have been shared by this, and it will become a platform to share our knowledge with us. In the last, ma'am, again, I would like to thank school and to the conducting team, to the eminent speakers. They have delivered in last 2 days. It was very professional and conducted in a flawless and seamless manner. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I call upon Sonal Rohit to share her experience.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Sonal Raj Rohit. I would like to share my experience from the Moot Court workshop. This workshop was a great chance to me to learn about legal argument research, writing, and speaking skills. Overall, the workshop taught me a lot about legal thinking. I feel more prepared for the future Moot Court activities, and I'm grateful to the organizers for creating such a supportive experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonal. I call upon Gangadhar Rao to share the experience.
All the names you are calling have given their name for feedback, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Move to next one. Because I can see the number of participants. It was I'm almost double than the in the previous session. Anyway, continue.
Gangadhar Rao sir is there. Sir, you're on mute.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
Yes, now
afternoon,
you're
madam.
audible.
Ji.
At the outset, I convey my heartfelt gratitude to the organizer for a meticulous planning and a time-bound session. And regarding this session, in the first session itself, Ramya, madam, advised to be the importance of soft skills and time management. Probably the most important point in the mooting area. And in the second session also, Kumar sir advised to be slow and clear in our presentations. That is almost the second major part in our moot preparation. And particularly in the third session today, I am very much amazed with the presentation of Minocha madam. Right from first page of the memorial through research and the last page, she explained very clearly. The session is almost totally interactive. The first time I had seen on this online platform. And she also, on another point is that Minocha madam has given a live presentation of how to read and interpret the memorial. That is almost highlight of these almost 4 sessions, I think, in my personal view. And in the last session also, Compendium, I gained much knowledge. And overall, I thank you very much all the organizers. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Surma Patel to share the experience.
गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल ऑफ मैम, मैं सबसे पहले सभी का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ कि मुझे ये जो अभी प्लेटफॉर्म मिला है, क्योंकि ये मेरा पहला साल है और मैंने पहली बार ऐसा सेशन अटेंड किया है, तो मुझे बोलने में और सबसे इंटरेक्ट करने में बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती थी। और अभी कुछ टाइम पहले हमारे कॉलेज में एक एक्टिविटी की थी जिसमें मुझे बोलने के लिए कहा गया और मैं बोल नहीं पाई थी। तो अब मुझे जो मैंने अभी सेशन अटेंड किया है, तो इसकी वजह से मुझे ये लगता है कि मैं अब आगे और कुछ कर सकती हूँ और बोल भी सकती हूँ। इसकी वजह से मुझे बहुत हेल्प होगी। आप सभी का बहुत ज़्यादा थैंक यू सो मच मुझे इतनी हेल्प करने के लिए। थैंक यू मैम, और ये सेशन बहुत अच्छा था। थैंक यू सो मच मैम। थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू।
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon participants who are interested in sharing their experience. Is there any participants who want to share their experience? I request everyone to turn on their camera for a photo. Everyone, please turn on their cameras. Thank you, everyone. Now I invite Dr. Vartika Arora, ma'am, to share her words of insight. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank each and everyone present here, whether it is organizing committee, volunteers, students from other institutions, because without all of you, this was not at all possible. We may have an idea, we may have a vision, we may have a team to do, but we need the participants first. So thank you all the participants for being the part of this 2-day journey of Moot workshop. I would start from where Indrajit left. He suggested few things. I guess there are few people who may be, as he mentioned, who may be more comfortable in Hindi or bilingual. So that suggestion has been noted down. Next Moot workshop, definitely we would try to, report the resource persons कि वो दोनों language में बात करें. It would help people more. एक और सजेशन इंद्रजीत ने दिया कि कुछ चीजें हमें और इंक्लूड करनी चाहिए, जैसे उन्होंने खुद के लिए कहा एज कैंडिडेट, तो कैंडिडेट शुड कंट्रीब्यूट मोर. So I have noted down all the points and we'll try to introduce all the suggestions you have given for this workshop. All the feedbacks has been taken on record and we'll try to improve everything in the next upcoming Moot workshop. So seeing the success of 3 workshops, we are now thinking about continuing it further up to when we can take it. अब क्यों जरूरी ये लगा हमें जब हमने इसको स्टार्ट किया, वो इसलिए कि मूटिंग पहली वो चीज होती है जो लॉ कॉलेज में घुसते ही बच्चों को दिखाई देती है पर समझ में नहीं आती है. पार्टिसिपेशन के लिए मोस्टली कॉलेजेस सीनियर स्टूडेंट्स को लेते हैं क्योंकि जूनियर्स के पास एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होता और उनको कहीं कोई आइडिया नहीं होता कि कैसे करना है. फ्यू दोज आर एक्सट्रोवर्ट, दे डू इट, पर कुछ बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं जो बिल्कुल रेजिस्ट करते हैं, दे डोंट even think about doing it. I'm very happy one of the students, Surma Patel, shared कि I was very hesitant. कुछ activity college में हुई and again this activity helped her to speak about. So if we are able to impact one person's life, that means our motto has been fulfilled. So thank you Surma कि आपने वो initiative लिया to say something on the platform. डेफिनेटली वर्चुअल से ज्यादा ऑफलाइन में बेनिफिट रहते हैं आपके कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल को बूस्ट करने में, बट स्टिल इट्स द इजी वे टू कनेक्ट थ्रू आउट द नेशन टू पैन इंडिया. सो इसलिए हम इसको वर्चुअल मोड पे रखते हैं. इसके अलावा कॉलेजेस और स्टेट्स के लिए मैम ने पहले बता दिया है कि वी हैड पार्टिसिपेशन फ्रॉम राजस्थान, पंजाब, गोवा, यूपी एंड देन मणिपुर, Hyderabad. So that is the beauty of being online. So isliye we would conduct every workshop of these kind online only. And regarding the feedback of the resource person, definitely we would check the written feedback as well. But those who have given the feedback, they have given it like every resource person, the choice of resource person was good. So thank you all the participants. You were with our decision. I have a complaint with Vaibhav Jain. You were very interactive in every session, but you were not there for feedback. So are you still want something to say? Are you there in the meeting? Because
yes ma'am. It was really a good session. I was listening to all the speakers, so I thought maybe I should rather listen than speak.
I was expecting you to at least ask something or say something because you were active throughout the workshop from inaugural session to up to now. So that's why I was expecting. Anyway, you were there always. So I guess it was time to conclude this. But before leaving this virtual room, again, I would say thank you to all the moderators, Danya, Niharika, Rini, Snigdha, Bhavya, Akansha. and all the faculty member, co-convener of the workshop, Dr. Disha Bangarwa, organizing secretary Roshan Ali, all the faculty members who have presented vote of thanks, Miss Purnima Gautam, Pragya Sharma, Ankita Singh, Kanjan Sharma, everyone contributed something to this event and tried to make it a good success. So thank you everyone. All those who have asked the question, all those who have given the feedback, they also play some different role for this workshop because they were able to make it interactive, more interactive than it is. So I have to end up here. So thank you everyone for being part of this third Moot Court training workshop, because initially we were using the word national to it. The name of the college was Rajasthan School of Law for Women. It was RSLW National Moot Training Workshop in its first and second version. But as per the BCI regulations, I guess first speaker mentioned also in the last yesterday that national word should not be used by the colleges without the prior permission of the BCI. So we have removed that word from this workshop. Maybe we can introduce it in the next time. So thank you everyone for being a part of this wonderful journey. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, we conclude the third KSLW Moot Court training workshop. Thank you for being and joining us for this workshop. Thank you. Participants can leave now. We can end the meeting. Certificate.
I was having one question, ma'am, that how we would be getting the certificates via PDF or via email?
Ma'am, the certificates would be dropped through a drive link in your group. So please don't leave the groups. We'll share it as soon as possible. Thank you for joining.
Surely. I will look forward to attend such events in future.
We'll gladly host you, ma'am. Thank you so much.